Hi, and welcome to Professor Black's History. Of course, we always come to you from the shadows until African American history and Black history is taken out of the shadows and put more prominently in the history textbooks. Maybe you can tell your friends about us and we can get a buzz going, see if we can get more people talking about Black history. Now, March is Women's Month, and because it is, we are featuring this month 4 outstanding women. Always remember where you come from. That's why we call it Professor Black's History, because it's not just about African American history, it's also about Black history, which includes African history. And this edition we talk about Queen Nzinga. Queen Nzinga is a person many people probably never have heard of, but once you read her story, and I hope you will, you'll be amazed and hopefully inspired as well. Queen Nzinga was the queen of the Mbundu people in Africa, and she lived between 1583 and 1663. She was a very, very powerful woman. She was a great leader, and she fought against the Portuguese in the slave trade in Central Africa. Now, she was a ruler of a land that is today what they call Angola. And of course, back in those days, it was very, very difficult for them to combat the English and the French and the Spanish and the Portuguese and everyone who was trying to get into Africa and take slaves. Well, her brother sent her on a mission because he was a pretty weak guy, and he sent her on a mission to meet the Portuguese governor. And when she got to the meeting, the governor, there was only one chair sitting in there, and that was for the governor. And the governor ordered his servants to bring her a mat to sit on. But instead of sitting on the mat, she ordered one of her servants to come and get down on his hands and knees, and she sat on his back, putting her eye to eye with the governor throughout the negotiations. Queen Nzinga was a person who understood how to negotiate, and she also understood that she needed to deal with the Portuguese at that time because that was her way of getting ammunition and rifles for her troops, as well as trying to keep them off of her land. But they continued to press on and on into the Mbundu land, and when her brother committed suicide because it got to be too much pressure for him, she became the queen, and she formed alliances with other rival tribes, and they all combined to start a war against the Portuguese. And for 30 years, she fought against the Portuguese, and for 30 years, they tried to capture or kill her, but they were never able to capture her or kill her. And she died at the age of 82, and when she died in her village. Her 2 sisters were some of her warlords, and she had lots of women in her army. She also fought during these times at war. She fought, and when she was in her 60s, she was still out there on the battlefield fighting, and she fought to keep Angola free. And when she was buried, like I said, she was buried in her leopard skins with her bow and her arrows, and she was buried like the true warrior princess and queen that she was. But Queen Nzinga is a person you need to look up. While you're looking up her, look up some other great names. Of course, we will have another great person for you to check out next time, right here on Professor Black's History.